This one here is the Marvel of Suspensions. Looks like it's the Bay Bridge. And then what do we have on this side? Holy crap. Alright, there's some gold here. Welcome back everyone to Campbell's Coins. I've got another box from my grandpa's collection that I wanted to unveil for you today. I don't know what's in here, like all the other boxes. For those who don't know, this is a quick recap. My grandfather passed away in 2018 and he was a huge coin collector. He has boxes and boxes of coins that my family, after he passed, kind of just stuck into these printer paper boxes. And just recently I asked my grandmother if I could go through them to unveil to not only to myself but to you guys, because I have not seen how much he has in his collection. He has so much that we've touched on so far, but there is so much more to go. Like I said, I think this is either box 4 or 5. I'm thinking it's around 4. There's one that was he had a whole bunch of Carson City Morgans, another where it was just the year sets. He had whole sets of years going from the 1800s all the way to present day. The last video that I had dropped was a bunch of coin albums, and then the coins that he collected in each of those albums and the stories behind it. So go ahead and check those out if you haven't already. This one, I don't know what's in this box. It looked like it looked random. So kind of going to go through some things. We're going to go to light speed so you guys don't have to stick around through all the sorting and stuff. And let's see what we got in this box. Alright, so far there is a crap ton of plastic bags and another box marked with shoebox marked with coins. Okay, so this is going to take me a second to dissect. Let's jump into light speed. I'm going to bounce you out of light speed. Another quick thing that I've noticed. So it's almost like an interruption of thoughts diving into these coin collections, these boxes. Primarily because if you haven't watched my previous videos, my grandfather had Alzheimer's, and that was part of the thing that killed him ultimately. But he was pretty avid in coin collecting up until 2003, and then you'll notice around that time it kind of drops off, especially with the coin albums. He stops collecting things. What surprised me was in the previous video that I had done with the coin albums, he was doing the commemorative state quarters, and it shows in 2012 he completed one, and then he wrote completed 2014. So up to 4 years before he died, it looked like he was continuing it, unless my grandmother was doing it, which I really doubt because she's not into this type of thing. But that's what I noticed. And so we're kind of having like a collection of thoughts here. And one thing I also noticed with him is he sorts things the way that I would sort them, which I laugh at. If I am going through old pennies, I'll sort by the decade, and if there's anything that I find that stands out to me in terms of like an error or a really nice looking example, I will set that aside separately. But if it's just like a bunch of, just specific dates, I'll separate them. And it kind of looks like that's what he did here in this box. This box here though is a lot different. I haven't gone through it, but there's definitely a lot older stuff in here. This is just bags of coins. So we'll definitely go through everything. I think I'm going to start off with the Ziploc bags first. Okay, these look like they're just clad $half. He has paper written on them. So I don't know if you can tell through that. Zoom in. He wrote 1970, 71, 72, 73, 74. So it looked like he was, after he filled his albums, he would just dump the excess into these bags. This one is a lot different. So he has Pennies. He looks like he wrote 1980, Denver and Philly. So we have some uncirculated. Like I said, I'm not going through everything just because it would just take so much time on the video. It looks like everything that are in these rolls, they are uncirculated. This was 87 Denver. Like these are 88D. Most of the stuff is probably junk that should go to Coinstar, but so he kept stuff like this, like when the US Mint produced 7 different cents in 1982, and then you can see the different, collect all 7 different 82 US cents. Oh, that's not coming through on camera. So he stuck it into this bag here, and he wrote 1982 on that. So, like I had mentioned before, he kind of does things exactly as I would do them, which is why it's so fun for me to follow, because I'm like, oh, well, that's something I would do. Now this is interesting. I shouldn't keep zooming out. He rolled up all these into a paper. Looks like these are all 85. Most of them are BU. This is an interesting way of keeping them though. And then there's more. I wonder what this one is. Oh yeah, see, he just wrote 85. So these are all 85. It looks like a lot of this is just change. 81, Denver and Philly. Some of these are worn, some not. I mean, it's good to collect pre-82 pennies because they're 90% copper or 98% copper and 2% something like that. I think they're 98% copper. Most of the pennies that are produced, actually all the pennies that are produced today are mostly zinc, I think. They're just crap. So he was a collector through and through in terms of like, here's 7 different cents from 1982. There's another one. Lastly, we have an 81 DMP. So he's collecting them by he was just stacking them by that. 59. I'm not sure what he meant on here. These are just the pennies, 81 DMP. And I also don't know how much of this stuff is from my aunts and uncles just throwing it together in boxes, or if this was how he had it, and then they just kind of threw it all together like this. Some of this is just random change. I mean, I'd have to go through it to see how much there's some like really, if there's a really gem example in here, but yeah, this is 1980 and up. Oh, I zoomed in again. All right, I'm gonna speed through. You kind of get an idea of what all this is looking like right now. And I'll stop it if I see something, and then we'll get to this other box. This other box looks a little bit more interesting. So in this bag here, he definitely has a bunch of silver quarters, dimes. Like this one, you can kind of see on the bag, 60 through 69. So there's definitely some pockets of silver within this. You just kind of have to like sort through everything and try to figure out what he was thinking. A lot of these are wheat pennies. It looks like he has wheat pennies by the year in this one. 1950 change. 1999 change. You know, he might be collecting or collecting it and all this in this manner, just so that if he runs across an error, he knows he can run to a bag and then open it and then search that bag for that error. So this one here is, there's a lot of BU coins in that one. This one's 1990 and up. You see how there's like a repetitive pattern though? It's not like everything is in a single decade. He's just got multiple bags, so kind of like he started on it, tossed it in somewhere, then started a new one. At least that's what it kind of looks like to me. This is all 2000 currency. Statehood Quarters. These are some BU 80s pennies. A lot of interesting change. Something we'd have to dig through to find out if there's any errors. And like I mentioned in all my other previous videos, I'm not going through each box and checking every single coin at this time. Just going through, seeing if anything catches the eye. If it does, set it aside. Then later on I will go through everything and separate either errors, because I know he has some errors, or rare coins, and then I'll do a final video showing everything that we have found in this. But so far it looks like a bunch of change that he just separated by the year, sometimes by the decade. But just like little bags like this, why not stick it in the same bag, you know? And then he puts a piece of paper in there. This is 1999 change. This one's 2001. This one is 2004. This one looks like 1969, so there could be some decent pennies in there. This is 92, so there could be some close AM pennies in that one. Some silver dimes in there for sure. This one doesn't have a thing, but it looks like it's pre-82 coins, pennies. It's like 1980 Philadelphia, 2005. Some bicentennial stuff. He's got just like random a nickel and a dime in this one. So there's just a lot of stuff to go through to figure out what is what. Some of this will go to a coin star. Some of it will stay in the collection. This is 2003. I'm thinking that a lot of this stuff he collected. And you know how as the years go on they'll find an error, or they're going to find a variety that nobody had known about, and through his experience I think he separated it by year, so that if that error were announced, he would go through and pick through that to find out something. This one, roll of nickels. I don't know the significance. It looks, the date that is at the top is 2005. Maybe he was just sorting rolls. This looks like 2000, year 2000, like 2001 to 2005 nickels. He's got paper in some of the bags, others he doesn't. I mean, it also could have fallen out. This is like 1970 change. A lot of interesting stuff. Like here, 1944 to, or 1940 to 1944 pennies. 2002. 1999 P. 95. 75. This is just random stuff, you know? More bicentennials. 76, bicentennial year. 98. So just a lot of coins. A lot of them are in really good shape. So he could have probably just got them from the bank. Or I know he like would drive to the bank to get rolls of coins and then separate them at his house. From change, what have you. He would just separate. I think that was one way he would just call himself. He'd just be sorting coins at his desk. So a ton. I'm just gonna try to swivel this camera and get my leg out of the way. Just a ton of plastic bags of all the different years. I would say there's probably about $5 worth of silver in here, just from what I could tell from what's inside the bag. Let's get to this one over here, because this one looks kind of interesting. There's just a lot of odd stuff in that box. Alright, so we went through all that. It looked like it was just bags of coins that he collected through the years. Some silver, some wheatbacks. Definitely need to sort through all that. Definitely just also a lot of clad. This box is a little bit more interesting, as there's some really old coin purses, you know, like the type that have the double clasp on either side. And it looks like some work that he had done in school. So there's this box. It feels pretty old. It's empty, but I was told this is some work that he had done. Nope, he bought this one. Definitely an interesting little box. This one I think he might have made. And do you see what I'm talking about with the randomness? There's like nothing special in here. There's a Susan B. Anthony, a Sacagawea dollar, Statehood Quarters. There's no, these look BU, but there's really no consistency to why, like why is it in here? This one dated 6/5/18. Found these in another spot, but I don't think they are valuable. These look like they're just pennies. This is a men's lotion. Oh, that's kind of cool. What is that? So it looks like some sort of copper piece, and it's stamped, and it says Federal Reserve note. I have no idea what this is. If somebody else does, go ahead and chime in the comments below what you think this is. It's very thin. And I don't know if this is like a couple pennies stuck together that they just rolled out into something else. You know, you can go to like certain places, put a penny in, and it'll crush it into a specific image. I'm not sure if that's what this is. What is interesting to note though on this is it says series 1934. So I don't know if that's when it was done or if there's something else behind that. Statehood Quarters BU. There's a lot of random stuff. Oh, this is kind of cool. These are some large cents. Very corroded, probably from being in that little purse. Yeah, I'm trying to read the date. I can't read the date on this one. Focus. And then this seems to be some sort of Irish penny. Very odd. Another box that feels kind of old. Just random change. Let's see this one. Let's start off with this side. So these are, oh, so like I was talking about before, here's like a penny that was put into a machine and then rolled out. This one is upside down. Okay, it says San Francisco Bay Exposition. And it's rolled onto a 1912 penny, which is kind of unfortunate. Oh, let's see what else is in this. Definitely some random stuff. Pens. This one here is the Marvel of Suspensions. Looks like it's the Bay Bridge. And then what do we have on this side? Holy crap. Alright, there's some gold here. I'm gonna put this back and on this side. This side appears to be just tokens. On this side, we've got some gold. I'm just gonna set these down. There. Pull out everything on that side. Okay, so this stuff here looks to be like zinc tokens. They're very light. 1939 Golden Gate International Exposition. This looks like just stuff that he kept, he would keep as like a memory. This one's Union Pacific. This is not coming through well. Come on, focus. So there's the Union Pacific one. Here's another Union Pacific. On the other side it says the 1939 Internationals. All these are like little sales tax tokens. Interesting stuff on that side. Let's get to the gold. Okay, this one is a 1913 Indian head 250. It's definitely been circulated, but it's not terrible. This one here looks like it's a little bit better condition, especially on the reverse. And this is a 1929. And then the third one, what a random place for some gold. 1928. A little bit better condition than the first. Got some black smudges on that side. Try to turn down the ISO on this just a little bit. Maybe go with the manual focus so it's not constantly hunting around. Okay, that's cool. We got 3 $2.50 Indian head pieces. I wonder what else is in this. That's very cool. Alright, Statehood Quarters. This is bank sealed. This one looks like it's 2005. Here's another bank-rolled California roll. This one you can't tell, but it's also bank-rolled. This one has Pennsylvania in the reverse, another bankroll. We've got 3 more bankrolls in here, and then a random 1934 to 1945. Okay, so this one is all silver quarters. And it looks like it was from the bank that he's from the town that he's from, I should say. That's kind of cool. These are heavily circulated. Looks like we have another roll of 65 through 66 quarters. Like I said, just a weird assortment in this little box. Looks like there's some childhood memory things, and then this one's Delaware, bankrolled. This one's opened, Pennsylvania. This one's another Pennsylvania. We have a roll of pennies. Not a roll, but just some pennies in here. They're in decent shape. 2012. Some half dollars. Clad half dollars. Some more clad coins. Same with this one. Just a random. I wonder if we have some more gold in here. Alright, so that side's empty. This one's empty. This one has something in it. Alright, so there is a 1921 Morgan. A 1944 D penny, 1943, and then a 1911 D. Just on that one side. And then on the other side, some more random tokens. An odd assortment of pennies. 1982, 1980. That doesn't make any sense. Why have something like this and have modern coinage in it? It doesn't flow or follow. This looks like a mixture of tokens, other things you might have kept. Alright, that's going to do it for that box. A weird random assortment of stuff. We had some silver quarters. These are pretty worn but very old. Looks like some 30s and 40s in here. And then of course the big one, a random 3 $2.50 Indian head pieces. I love these coins. See if I can get these from my grandma. But yeah, these are really nice. And then just random other stuff like Statehood Quarters, rolled tubes of Statehood Quarters. He was really into the Statehood Quarters apparently. Alright, that's gonna do it for me. I appreciate you guys sticking through this extremely long video. I know that was a lot, but I appreciate it nonetheless. I will have more of these unboxing videos coming up. I still have probably 4 to 5 other boxes to go through, so stay tuned for those. Thank you all so much for watching. This is Campbell's Coins, and that is my 2 cents.